you, we are going to talk about volume. I know, try to contain yourself in excitement. Thank you. What is volume? Nemi.
Volume is length times width times height.
Okay. So you have learned about this in third grade?
Yes.
So this is not brand new to you?
No.
Okay.
No.
So you see we have length times width times height. But what is it? So you told me the formula for how to find it, but what is volume, young man?
Area inside
Yes, it's all this area inside of our three-dimensional shape. So this brand was actually, we were talking about it when you guys were at music, and we were saying how we talked about the perimeter, so the outside of the house. We learned about the inside and out with area, so all that, and then the volume, everything that can fit inside of here, okay? So volume is how much space you can put in that object. Does that make sense to you? So an open box, it's all empty inside. However much stuff I can put in there, that's the volume capacity. Does that make sense? Kind of, yes or no?
Yes.
So I know you guys don't want to look at your textbook, so I'm just going to bring this one page out so we can just quickly go over it, and then we're going to play a game to practice.
May I have your attention, please? Students will need to be inside at lunchtime today.
Okay. So when we're talking about volume, we always like to have some kind of a definition in our minds, right? So the volume of a solid object, such as a brick or a ball, is a measure of how much space that object takes up. So all of the inside of what it takes up. The volume of a container, such as a freezer, is measured of how much the container will hold. Does that make sense to everyone? We understand the difference of volume from the other measurements we've used before. We do understand. Okay. Okay. So there's different types of 3D shapes that are going to use different types of measurements to find the volume. Okay. So today we're going to be studying rectangular prisms. We all remember what the rectangular prism is. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so what are some of the properties of a rectangular prism that we've discussed? Sophia?
All the faces and bases are rectangles.
Very nice. Emerson?
They have multiple parallel sides.
Oh, multiple parallel sides. Very nice. Can someone give me an example of a rectangular prism in an everyday object? Something that we were looking at when we went on our scavenger hunt around the room. Drew? A tissue box. Perfect example. In fact, I'm going to grab this. So our rectangular prism is what we're looking at, our tissue box. And today we want to find out how to find the volume of a rectangular prism. And I have up here for you a chart with the formula on it. So again, how do we find the volume of a rectangular prism? Nice and loud as a group.
Length times width times height.
Very nice. Length times width times height. Now, you lucky ducks, instead of just making you write it, we're going to play a game today. Okay. Excuse me. So, for our game, we're going to draw a rectangular prism, and then we're going to roll a dice 3 times to find the different dimensions of a rectangular prism. Does that sound reasonable to you? Okay. So, I have my rectangular prism. Okay? I know. Work with it. So I roll my dice. 4. Okay? 1, 3. So now what do I do with the numbers 4, 1, and 3? Jasmine? I multiply them. So it would look something like this. Yes? What would our volume be? Michael? And then what kind of a unit would we mark? You know how all of our different measurements, we need units. It is our volume, but it's going to be in cubic units, okay? So I want you guys to think about all of our base 10 blocks, all of our little squares, okay? That's what we're thinking of. Does that make sense to you? Okay, so everyone is going to, you may do this with a partner, you're going to draw your rectangular prism. You're going to spin the dice 3 times to get your dimensions. You're going to label your dimensions. You're going to calculate the volume. What does that mean when I say calculate the volume? Emerson?
Multiply it.
Yes, you're going to be multiplying all of these